My stepmother tried to destroy me when she discovered her son and I were in love. I moved into my father's new house at 21, still trying to adjust to the idea that he had remarried a woman who showed no warmth toward anyone, not even her own kids. The first day I met her, she looked at me the way someone looks at an unexpected bill, annoyed, inconvenienced, already exhausted by my existence. She barely spoke. Barely blinked. Barely acknowledged anything alive around her. Her son, Daniel, was 24 and nothing like her. Quiet, yes, but not cold. Detached at times, but attentive when you least expected it. He watched people the way someone studies weather patterns, observing small shifts, noticing things others ignore. I never imagined anything would happen between us. Not then. Not until the night everything changed. It was late, maybe 2 in the morning, when I padded barefoot into the dark kitchen for a glass of water. The house felt unusually silent, the kind of silence that makes you check behind your shoulder even when you know you're alone. But I wasn't alone. Daniel was sitting at the kitchen table, phone screen glowing against his face. He didn't look up at first. I filled my glass, took a sip, and turned toward the sink. That's when I felt him move. I didn't hear footsteps. I didn't hear anything. Just the sudden warmth of his palms sliding around my waist from behind. His chest pressed to my back. His breath brushing the side of my neck. Not accidental. Not drunk. Not confused. Intentional. For a second, I thought I imagined it, that my body invented the sensation because I was touch-starved and lonely in a house that felt more like hostile territory than home. But then his fingers tightened, drawing me closer, holding me like he had been waiting a long time to do it. My heart slammed against my ribs. I didn't push him away. I didn't move at all. I set the glass down. He whispered, "You okay?" And I realized I wasn't scared, not even a little. I was alive in a way I hadn't been in years. Our secret started that night. A look. A touch. A held breath. Then stolen moments, in the hallway, the backyard, the quiet space before dawn when his mother hadn't yet begun her daily routine of finding something in my existence to hate. We were careful. Too careful, maybe. But the tension grew until hiding it felt impossible. The first time we crossed the line and slept together, I remember thinking. This house finally feels warm. But warmth doesn't survive long around a woman like his mother. She found out. I don't know how, maybe she sensed it, maybe she overheard something, maybe Daniel slipped. But one afternoon, she stormed into the living room while I was alone and began hurling whatever her hands could grab. A remote. A ceramic bowl. A shoe. She wasn't screaming words, just noise. Primal, furious noise. What shocked me wasn't the violence. It was that she never blamed her son. Not once. She aimed every object at me, every accusation, every vile insult. But about him? Silence. Like he was untouchable. Like only I could be at fault for what happened between two consenting adults. I locked myself in my room, trembling so hard I pressed my palms into the mattress just to steady myself. She stood outside my door shouting things that didn't even sound human. And then she said something that made my blood freeze. "Pack your things. You're leaving this house or he is." I waited, heart pounding, expecting to hear her turn that rage on him next. But she didn't. Not a single word of anger directed his way. Only toward me. Hours later, when the house finally went quiet, I opened my door just enough to listen. That's when I heard her talking to him in the kitchen, voice low and venomous. "You're moving out. You can go live with your real father. I'm done with you." Done. With her own son. And something in me snapped. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was love. Maybe it was the realization that this cold, emotionless woman had never wanted any of us under her roof. But I couldn't stay silent. Not when she was casting him out like garbage because of me. Not when I finally knew how deeply I felt for him. I stepped out of my room, shaky but furious. His mother spun toward me with that expression she always wore, like I was a roach she couldn't manage to kill. And before I could stop myself, I said the truth out loud. "We love each other." Her face twisted. Daniel stood up so quickly his chair scraped the tile. He grabbed my hand, openly, defiantly, and I felt his whole arm shaking. It all exploded from there. Her screaming. Daniel shouting back for the first time in his life. Me trying not to crumble under the weight of the moment. But the moment also set something free. She told him to leave. He said he was taking me with him. She said my father would hear about this. I said I didn't care. None of it mattered anymore, not the house, not her, not the storm she was trying to unleash. What mattered was that he chose me. And for the first time since moving into that cold, loveless home, I chose myself too. We packed that night. Both of us. We slipped out of that house before dawn, leaving behind the echo of her hatred and walking into a future we didn't fully understand but wanted desperately. And even now, years later, I still remember the way he held my hand that night, gripping it like an anchor in a world that suddenly felt like open water. I didn't know where we were going, or how complicated life would get, or what people would think. But I knew this. I loved him. And after everything she did, after the fear and the chaos and the broken pieces of that house we escaped, I wasn't ashamed of it.